Kolayla, Alhayna Yahawa, Bashim Yahawa Shah Mashiach, Wamalaki, Bashim Hawa Kakurash, Rakatham, the water by the Bawa, Kwam Yasharala. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone will teach us daily. And to the men out there teaching them likewise doctrine and city Shalom. Today we're going to get into an actual confession from I think his name John D. Rockefeller back in the 1800s. One of them Rockefellers back in the 1800s. And they basically got together, the Edomites and their secret council, and decided that everything that's going on today, this is what they decided to do back then. Now, the only reason they couldn't really execute back then because the technology for them to execute all this wickedness did not exist. So the times had to catch up with Esau's, with his plans, rather. And now all that's coming into fruition, and we can all see it. We all know who the wicked is. Esau stopped lying about it because ain't nobody else doing all this shit in the earth but you. So, with that being said, we're going to get this confession, and then we're going to filter it through the scriptures because these Edomites, they think people don't see through their bullshit. They think everybody is as stupid as them. They actually think people believe their bullshit, and that makes them extra stupid because everybody ain't as stupid as them, especially the ones that devising these wicked schemes and always pretending like they trying to help somebody. But every time they help somebody, what happens? Their country is desolated, people are murdered, and their resources are stolen. And they lie about it all. That's what the Edomites do. Now, we can start out with a couple of scriptures first. You already know. The book of John, chapter 9. The book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given to the hand of the wicked because the faces of the judges thereof is not where he is. And Sirach, chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like his iron rusted towards his wickedness. Now let's get into these. Let's get into this confession real quick. Yeah, it was written by John D. Rockefeller, 1800s. Now listen to this. Listen to the confession, y'all.
John D. Rockefeller, like in the early 1800s. An illusion. It will be so large, so vast, it will escape their perception. Those who will see it will be thought of as insane.
See, that's what they do. They demonize the truthers. And you can see that in the past 3 years because they demonized the doctors that came out about the truth. They came out, they demonized the scientists that came out about them not going to the moon, about global warming, about climate change, about carbon footprint mapping. All this bullshit. It's not real. To give them a reason to do wickedness in the earth. Now, if all this stuff is going on, why are they still spraying chemtrails and things already bad enough? See what I'm saying? Their lives and their actions don't follow each other. They're two different things. Now let's get this one. Proverbs chapter 29, verse 12. If a ruler hardens the lives, all his servants are wicked. President on up, right back down the ladder. Sirach chapter 14, verse 17. And if he do it good, he do it unwillingly. And at the last, he will declare his wickedness. He's declaring his wickedness right now. Look at it. Think about everything that's been happening. All these train derailments, burning down. They derailing trains near water sources to intentionally poison the water. This is so see-through. What else they doing? They burning down food processing centers. What else they doing? They basically declare war on their own people, the American citizens. But at the same time, they expect these American citizens to fight all these wars that they're instigating. Now, these are the dumbest people on the planet because they don't learn from their mistakes. Just like how did Rome fall? Rome fell by spreading their military thin, trying to fight everybody, but leaving their front door wide open. That's how Rome fell. And guess what? Rome is about to fall like that again because now over 50 nations have applied to join the BRICS. So now you see why 200 million missiles will destroy this bitch. And it's overdue because these people, we always tell y'all, stop putting y'all faith in these liars. These people are not created to be righteous rulers. These people were created to be the wicked. So with that being said, they will earn their judgment, which is 1,000 years of captivity. And after that, extermination. That is their final destination. Not like they put in all these movies, like they gonna like 200, 300 years from now, they're gonna be living on other planets, messing them up. No, that's not gonna happen. Now we don't expect these wicked Edomites to be honest about being wicked because it's not in them. This is the man of no integrity. What we do expect is you to go into captivity for 1,000 years, and we expect you to be exterminated after that. Thus saith the Bible, thus saith the Lord. Let's go.
We will create separate fronts to prevent them from seeing the connection between us. We will behave as if we are not connected to keep the illusion alive.
See, and when they said that, that's basically saying that they're gonna pretend that they're separate. That's the Edomite, the regular Edomite, and the fake Jew. They act like they're two different people, but no, they're from the same nation of Edom. Amalek, who is the progenitor of the fake Jews, was Esau's grandson. So yes, they are of the same blood. They are of the same nation of Edom. Let's go.
Our goal will be accomplished one drop at a time as to never bring suspicion upon ourselves.
See, that's what they stupid at because all they doing is bringing suspicion upon themselves. Because this is how you know that Esau is behind all the wickedness. It's not being investigated. It's not being talked about as to why it happened. And first and foremost, nobody goes to jail. That's a telltale sign that Esau is behind it. And he's going to lie about it. 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. Let's say you get an advantage of us, but we're not ignorant of his devices. The book of Job, chapter 13, verse 4. But ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value. And that goes with the medical field as well. Matter of fact, let's get there too. What is it? Yeah. First Timothy chapter 6, verse 20. O Timothy, keep that which is committed to thy trust, avoiding profane and vain babblings and oppositions of science, falsely so called. These people will freestyle a lie and call it science in a minute. You rappers ain't got nothing on Esau as far as freestyling. And he'll do it with all his sincerity in his eyes, knowing he lying his ass off. But, you know, Psalm chapter 58, verse 3, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies.
This will also prevent them from seeing the changes as they occur. We will always stand above the relative field of their experience, for we know the secrets of the absolute. We will.
See, that's that secret counsel. Let me just see if I can find the scripture on it. That's why you got these things called think tanks now. That ain't nothing but Esau's crafty counsel. But it's not so crafty if the average person can see through your bullshit. So you paying these people to figure out how you can get away with shit. Psalm chapter 83, verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. Always talking about secrets. How can we get away with this? How can we get away with that?
Work together always and will remain bound by blood and secrecy.
See, let me run that back for a little bit.
We will always stand above the relative field of their experience, for we know the secrets of the Absolute. We will work together always and will remain bound by blood and secrecy.
See, the bloodthirsty beast, man. That's why that's why, what? The vast majority of murderers are Edomite men. They have a bloodthirst. They do. Because they are trained from birth almost, young ages, breaking down guns, shooting guns. They have a bloodthirst. Animal torture, all through history. Putting animals in zoos, experimenting on animals. Them damn monkeys be catching hell from Esau. Any type of animal they would experiment on and not feel anything behind it. Yet at the same time, they 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 swear up and down how much they love their dogs. And now we know why. Esau and these dogs. What do you think that term comes from? A dog is a man's best friend. That gave birth to the term bestiality. Esau created bestiality. Esau created pedophilia. Esau created homosexuality. All these things are natural to him. That's why he doesn't have a problem with it. Matter of fact, he loves it so much, he's trying to get the rest of the world to do it. Matter of fact, a couple days ago, Uganda had announced that they have a bill, well, it's a law now, that all homosexuals will receive the death penalty. And guess what Babylon does? Babylon reacts like, we're going to give you one more chance to accept these people. That's when they went off. They were like, you don't tell us what to do in our country. F you, to make a long story short. And I understand why. Because the Ugandans, uh, they basically said we will not be poisoning our children and our families with this bullshit. Because all it's doing is destroying families. Homosexuals don't reproduce. All they do is spread disease. And that is not bringing forth life. That is bringing forth death, which is against the Bible. That's why it states in the Bible that homosexuals will be put to death. Not in this kingdom, but that lake of fire gonna touch their ass. And all of them going in the pot, just like Sodom and Gomorrah. You pedophiles, you taking the same route, baby. All y'all going in the pot, just like Sodom and Gomorrah. Let's go.
Death will come to he who speaks.
See, that all that talk come from them they're trying to ban the Bible. They're giving athletes hell for speaking the truth. They're giving actors and actresses hell speaking the truth, the doctors, the scientists. And it's gonna get to the point eventually they're gonna want to execute. That's why they're trying to bring back guillotines, firing squads. Why? Because they want to silence his words. These people are really afraid, man. Look at all the stuff they're doing. Who destroys their own kingdom because they're afraid to go into captivity? You can destroy your own kingdom. You still going into captivity. You know why? Because all of this is written that you would do so. Let's get Job chapter 15, verse 35. They conceive mischief and bring forth vanity, and their belly prepare deceit. Psalms chapter 37, verse 32. The wicked watcheth the righteous and seeketh to slay him. See, they hate him that rebuketh and negate. Roughly paraphrasing the scripture. Proverbs chapter 29, verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. Psalm 73, verse 5. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Matthew chapter 5, verse 10. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Who's righteous? Israel. Who's the wicked? Esau, Edom. So how they think they just gonna do all this wickedness and the Lord just gonna roll out the red carpet to the kingdom for them and they ain't gotta pay back nothing? Are you shitting me? The Lord finna take out 2/3 of his own people. You think you finna let these heathens and these wicked people get a pass? No, dude. No, no. They are seriously in denial. Obadiah chapter 1, verse 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. Let's go.
We will keep their lifespan short and their minds weak while pretending to do the opposite.
See what that scripture is. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, slide with the blue letter trip. Let me go to Google. Okay, let's go back a little bit. I found it. Check now. Listen to this, y'all.
To he who speaks. We will keep their lifespan short and their minds weak while pretending to do the opposite. We will use our knowledge of science and technology in subtle ways so they will never see what is happening.
See, that's that pseudoscience. That's First Timothy chapter 6, verse 20. Science falsely so called.
We will use soft metals, aging accelerators, and settings weak while pretending to do the opposite. We will use our bound by blood and secrecy. Death will come to he who speaks. We will keep their lifespan short and their minds weak while pretending to do the opposite.
See, this is Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha chapter 12, verse 17. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first, but he's never guilty. And though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. And that's another one. He always coming with that help, but you always find yourself in the worst case after he done helped you, quote unquote. Why is that? Because he lying about helping. This man wants to destroy everything. And once he destroys everything, his thirst for destruction is still not quenched.
We will use our knowledge of science and technology in subtle ways so they will never see what is happening.
All that science and technology, all of it's rooted in wickedness. Think about it. They want you to pray to an AI computer to be your new God. Now, let me ask y'all this. As far as AI, that's artificial intelligence, right? Artificial means fake, like artificial flavors, artificial sweeteners, artificial colors. It means fake. Now, let me ask you this another question. As far as morality goes, Esau he wants to create beings in his own image. That's where all these robots come from. Now, you a damn fool if you trust these robots. Why? Because Esau is a murderer. How can this man program morals if he doesn't know what morals are? How can he teach a robot something that he knows nothing about? He's going to program and teach that robot what he knows, how to murder, how to steal, and if it talks, how to lie. Remember, Esau cannot program a robot to do something that he knows nothing about. He doesn't know how to be righteous or just. So you think these robots gonna be righteous and just? Isaiah chapter 26, verse 10. Let favor be shown to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. In the land of uprightness will he deal unjustly, and will not behold the majesty of the Lord Yahweh. But see, the Lord got a cake baked for him. Obadiah chapter 1, verse 15. For the day of the Lord Yahweh is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. So everything you dish out, you're going to get it back. Not only you going to get it back, you're going to get it back double, homie. You really dug yourself a grave, Esau, because you did not think this through. You think the whole world just as dumb as your ass. Let's go.
We will use soft metals, aging accelerators, and sedatives in food and water, also in the air.
See? Let me get another scripture. Yeah, they got y'all with that bug juice, that jab. They got y'all. It's safe. Trying to bribe people to take it. That should have been a red flag right there. When has the government ever went out their way to help you when they take your money like it ain't shit? 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as to build upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. You got to watch it when they say you're safe. There's going to be peace. What Ronald Reagan said, he said the 9 most terrifying words he ever heard. You ever hear? You hear these words, you better run. And that's, hi, hello, I'm from the government and I'm here to help. He said you better run for the hills when you hear those words. And he was a part of the government. That's why the Lord told us not to trip. Check this out. Psalms chapter 37, verse 1. Fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity. Verse 2. For they shall soon be cut down like the grass and wither as the green herb. Verse 9. For evildoers shall be cut off. For those that wait upon your house, they shall inherit the earth. You know what I'm saying? That's why we ain't tripping. Matter of fact, Napoleon, quote from Napoleon Bonaparte, he said this very nicely. He said, uh, never interrupt your enemies when they are when they're making mistakes. Let them do it, baby. Let them do it, because the more they do it, the more they do their wickedness, try to get their little new world order, the faster we get to the kingdom Yahweh Ratazah. And there is going to be a new world order, but they ain't going to be in charge. They're going to be on the bottom instead of on the top. See, they didn't take an account for that because they don't believe. These are carnal men. They're not spiritual at all. Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 28. For they are a nation void of counsel, neither is there any understanding in them. So why would you trust these people to be understanding? That's why you 2/3 keep getting let down and disappointed by Esau. Y'all expect this man to be a righteous man. He was not created to be the righteous. He was created to be the wicked. But yet you still expect him to be righteous. So he breaks your heart over and over every day almost. Y'all stupid as he is for trusting this man. Sirach chapter 12, verse 10, once again, never trust thine enemy, for like his iron rusted sword, his wickedness. Let's go.
They will be blanketed by poisons everywhere they turn. The soft metals will cause them to lose their minds. We will promise to find them a cure on our many fronts, yet we will feed them more poison.
Bam, see? They got y'all with the jab. Never trust thine enemy. Beware of science falsely so called. But y'all didn't hear it though. Job chapter 30, verse 8. They were the children of fools, children of base men. They were vile in the earth. Talk about the Edomites. Zechariah chapter 11, verse 5. Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. You can't take you can't charge a jab for murder, but you can charge who created it because they got the patents for it. But that's not going to happen. Why? Because the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. roughly paraphrasing the scripture, and they are not in trouble as other men, roughly paraphrasing the scripture. The book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 2. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. That's why everybody ganging up in the BRICS nations to go against Babylon the Great.
The poisons will be absorbed through their skin and mouths. They will destroy their mind and reproductive systems. From this, their children will be born dead, and we will conceal this information. The poisons will be hidden in everything that surrounds them, in what they drink, eat, breathe, wear.
See, that comes from what? Chemtrails. That comes from them poisoning the water to this day with all these train derailments on purpose. Proverbs chapter 21, verse 10. The soul of the wicked desireth evil. His neighbor find no favor in his eyes. 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 13. But evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. They lying to you. That's deceiving. But them being deceived, that's the Lord doing that to them, thinking, making them think they winning. No, he just got you in the trick bag, homie. He wants your pride to be so high that when he slams you on your back into captivity, you're just gonna be there. You're gonna have to think about everything you did. You got 1,000 years to think. You have 1,000 years to bear regret and shame. And that's gonna be your hell. Hell is a condition, not a place. You're in heaven right now because you're in rulership. But all that's about to change, man. Proverbs chapter 14, verse 16. The wise man feareth and departeth from evil, but the fool rageth and is confident. The book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 16. Thou art filled with shameful glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. Yeah, they about to get put to shame because all their American history, quote unquote, those were lies. But they claim they're the best of the best. Let me ask you this. If you were the best of the best, you proclaim yourself as a king and not a servant, why do you base all your movies, all your history on the deeds of slaves? Do you get what I'm saying? Let me rephrase it. Let's say I'm a king, right? And I say that you're beneath me. But everything I do and say is based on everything you did and what you said. So who's really a king and who's really a slave? The people that's lying, or the people that actually did these great acts in history? See, Esau, what he did, he's taken the history of kings and placed himself in those stories, in that history. So how the hell can you proclaim yourself as being better than somebody else when everything you do and say is based on the person that you claim you better than? See how Esau lies don't make sense? But see, lies are not supposed to make sense. This is James chapter 1, verse 8. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. That's why you can't trust shit this man say or do. Psalm chapter 52, verse 2. Thy tongue devises mischiefs, like a sharp razor working deceitfully. Psalm chapter 94, verse 20. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by law? Every law they put out is to put you at a disadvantage and to put them at an advantage over you. That's not justice. That's wickedness. Let's go.
We must be ingenious in dispensing the poisons.
See, let me run that back a little bit. See, they slick with killing you softly.
Conceal this information. The poisons will be hidden in everything that surrounds them, in what they drink, eat, breathe, wear.
See, that's why you got normal, everyday uh foods that's taken for granted. Now it's coming out that basic, simple stuff like a bag of Skittles can give you cancer. Everything that we deemed normal for the longest time, we're now finding out that it's always been poisoned against us, like fluoride in the water. And not to mention other chemicals, all this. What you think is food is not food. What you think is seasoning is not seasoning, it's chemicals that slowly over time erodes your body. And here comes Esau with the cure, just to make money off of you. This man offers you disease that will kill you. Well, he creates disease that will kill you, and he creates cures that will kill you. So how is this man righteous? But y'all don't care. Y'all don't care about facts. Y'all go about y'all emotions because y'all love your enemies. Sirach chapter 14, verse 8. The envious man hath a wicked eye, he turneth away his face and despises men. Yeah, when he look away, he's showing his true colors, but he'll smile all day in your face and act like he down for you. But behind your back, he hates your ass. Verse 9. A covetous man's eye is not satisfied with his portion, and the iniquity of the wicked drieth up his soul. Ezekiel chapter 28, verse 3. And this describing the crafty counselor. Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. Yeah, they smart as hell when it comes to sneak shit and wickedness. But to do the right thing, they have no knowledge. Just like the children of Israel. Ezekiel chapter 22, verse 29. The people of the land have used oppression and exercised robbery and have vexed the poor and needy. Yeah, they have oppressed the stranger wrongfully. Sound about right. Let's get the rest of this video.
We must be ingenious in dispensing the poisons, for they can see far. We will teach them that poisons are good, with fun images and musical tones.
See, poisons are good. Let me see if I can find a scripture on that. Isaiah chapter 5, verse 20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. They turn everything upside down. If you dumbasses believe it. The book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 5. Yeah, also because he transgressed by wine, he's a proud man, neither keep it at home. That's why this man got 754 military bases worldwide, who enlarges his desire as hell, and is as deaf and cannot be satisfied. See, that's why he raided these other countries, proclaiming that he's on humanitarian missions, but all he's doing is murdering the innocent and stealing their resources and lying about it. Let me start over. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 5. Yeah, also because he transgresses by wine, he is a proud man, neither keep it at home, who enlarges his desire as hell, and is as death. That's why wherever he goes, somebody dies, but nobody goes to jail. Whenever Esau getting his feelings, yeah, somebody's gonna die. And this is death and cannot be satisfied, but gather unto him all nations and he unto him all people. That's why he insists on all nations doing what he says because he actually think he running things. No, the Lord is running things. You are the biggest tool in the box, Esau, because you will be used to destroy your own kingdom, punish us. And our punishment is up. We about to come off punishment. Yours is about to begin. So yeah, you were used to punish us, and you will be used to destroy your own kingdom. After that, you will be used again to rebuild ours for free. And then after that, you have no more purpose because wickedness has no more purpose. So guess what? You will be exterminated. And this how he get y'all every time he step behind the podium to get y'all to believe him. Psalm chapter 55, verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet they were drawn swords. And y'all believe it, because y'all love him. Proverbs chapter 14, verse 25. A true witness delivered soul, but a deceitful witness speaketh lies. Psalm chapter 5, verse 9. For there is no faithfulness in their mouth, their inward part is very wicked. Their throat is an open sepulchre. They flatter with their tongue. No sepulchres in above ground, grave, or tomb, and then of a death. Proverbs chapter 14, verse 7. Go from the presence of a foolish man when thou perceivest not in him the lips of knowledge. But y'all do the exact opposite. Y'all know this man speaking lies and dumb shit, but y'all just eat it up. Why? Because he's Esau. When the rich man speaketh, yeah, that's scripture. Let me see if I can find it. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 13, verse 23. When a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue. And look what he saith. They extol it to the clouds. See, Esau can't say no wrong. But if a poor man speak, the prophets, they say, what fellow is this? And if he stumble, they will help to overthrow him. See, the people who trying to warn you, you shit on them. But you praise the wicked that's trying to kill your ass. Y'all just dumb. Y'all are products of Babylon, man. Ass backwards and country and stupid as hell. Simple. Isaiah chapter 10, verse 1. Woe unto them that decree and righteous decrees, and that right grievousness which they prescribe. Sirach chapter 13, verse 4. If thou be for his profit, he will use thee. But if thou hast nothing, he will forsake thee. Just like Ukraine, right? Now, what does Ukraine have that the United States wants? That's easy. First of all, they got resources. Number two, it's a strategic launch site. They can hit Moscow easily from Ukraine. Now, as far as Mexico and the BRICS, Mexico applied to join the BRICS nation. Russia can do the same thing to the United States. They can set up military shop right there in Tijuana, and Washington D.C. will have less than 10 minutes before that supersonic missile gets there and blow it off the map. See, yeah, they're trying to get strategic launch points where they can launch their missiles. They're trying to get closer and closer and closer so they can launch. And the closer you get, the less reaction time your enemy has. Let's go.
Those they look up Two will help. We will enlist them to push our poisons. They will see our products being used on film and will grow accustomed to them and will never know their true effect.
See how evil these people are? They try to normalize wickedness so you won't think twice about it. And they will get you if you don't have these scriptures.
When they give birth, we will inject poisons into the blood of their children and convince them it is for their help.
See? Another thing y'all gonna learn to stop trusting these doctors and running to the hospital every time you sneeze. These people can't wait to murder you. Yeah, they're trying to convince you that their poison is good for you. Isaiah chapter 29, verse 16. Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he have no understanding? That all breaks down to the Lord creating Esau to be the wicked. But Esau telling the Lord, no, you ain't do that right. Let me fix it. You didn't do this right. He's trying to perfect the perfected. That's why you got GMO fruit, aka watermelon with no seeds. He's trying to perfect something that's already been perfected. And all he doing is destroying shit in the process. But he said it's beneficial to you.
We will start early on. When their minds are young, we will target their children.
You will target their children. That's them pedophiles. They coming at your kids. And guess what? The government ain't gonna do shit about it because the government with it too. Where you think pizza parties come from? Epstein Island come from? They ain't gonna prosecute no pedophiles because they are pedophiles. And there you go. That's the spirit right there. Psalm chapter 73, verse 5. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. The book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person in Esau. Ain't nobody profane like him. Who for one most birthright. Psalm chapter 58, verse 2. Yet in heart ye work wickedness, ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. What country has been in existence almost a rough 250 years, but only had 12 years of peace? The United States. Because the rest of those years, they were at war, starting wars, taking people's shit.
With what children love most, sweet things. When their teeth decay, we will fill them with metals that will kill them and steal their future.
See, they blaming all this stuff. They're trying to put all this trying to help you under the guise of help. No, there's nothing healthy about putting metals in your mouth. There's nothing healthy about poisoning you and then calling it medicine. Medicine is not supposed to kill you. But see, y'all people go down there and get the prescriptions anyway. Right after you done heard the side effects. Side effects include death. That's not medicine. But you people want to love Esau so bad. Y'all act like y'all don't hear the real shit. This man just told you side effects include death. And you still take your ass down there to get it. Let's get it again. First Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 3. But when they say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they should not escape. Same scenario as these banks crashing. Big bank taking little bank. Biden get on the TV and lie to your ass. Your deposits will be safe. All these train derailments, near water sources. Oh, the drinking water safe. All these jabs. Oh, the jabs are safe. Y'all keep believing that safe shit.
When their ability to learn has been affected, we will create medicine that will make them sicker and cause other diseases for which we will yet create yet more medicines.
See, these people have no intention on ruling in righteousness. They do have every intention of depopulation. All of these fall under depopulation because they want a controllable population because they claim there's too many people on the planet because it's too many for them to control. Not because the planet is overcrowded. Think about the last time you got on a plane. How much open land did you fly over before you start seeing cities and towns? Open land. But yet these liars claim that the earth is overcrowded. No, they understand that because they want to crowd your ass up in the 15-minute smart cities where you can't go outside of 15 minutes of the radius of that city. I mean, you can go 15 minutes in any direction. Anything other than that, they're going to get your ass. The rest of Esther chapter 13, verse 5. Seeing then we understand that this people alone is continually in opposition unto all men, differing in the strange manner of their laws, and evil affected to our state, working all the mischief they can, that our kingdom may not be firmly established. That's their game plan. That's their end game. They're trying to get at us, the Israelites. You heathens have no power over them because you heathens have no God. They're not afraid of you. They're afraid of us. And they got every right to be because we're going to beat the brakes off their ass. The Howard is up. Let's go.
We will render them docile and weak before us by our power. They will grow depressed, slow, obese, and when they come to us for help, we will give them more poison.
See? But every time we hop on the TV, what they tell you? It's safe, it's safe, it's safe. 2 Ezra chapter 15, verse 10. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. Y'all keep on believing these liars. Your ass gonna end up dead.
We will focus their attention toward money and material goods so they may never connect with the inner self.
See? And part of that not connecting with our inner self is them trying to isolate the God gene in the Israelites. So y'all gonna learn one day not to trust Esau and his leaders.
We will distract them with fornication, external pleasures, and games so they may be with the oneness of it all.
See? That's how they get your kids. Turn it into a game so they won't take it serious. That's how they got y'all. That's how they got y'all worse than uh Ishtar. They got y'all worse than who else? Nimrod. All these false gods and idols. Because they gave it to you as a plaything, as a game. They know that if they presented Ishtar to you in his true form, you would not worship him. So what did they do? They gave you an Easter bunny that lays chocolate eggs, which is nowhere in the Bible, but you people celebrate it like it's the most high holy day in the year. I know a lot of people who don't go to church. The only time they go to church is on Easter. You celebrate Ishtar and Molech. These people sacrifice their children to be successful in the wicked kingdom. You don't believe me? Look at Hollywood. Will Smith, uh, Jada Pinkett Smith, Gabriel Union. All these people sacrifice their kids to make it in Hollywood, to be successful in this kingdom. But when you look how fucked up their kids are, because they were sacrifices. Let me come out of this. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse 8. Now there arose up a new king of Egypt, which knew not Joseph. Verse 9. And he said unto his people, Behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. But they always claim we the minority. When the scriptures say that the children of Israel shall be counted as the sand of the sea and cannot be measured, roughly paraphrasing the scripture. But they trying to do, put us in a census. Always trying to say we the minority when they know they're the minority. That's why they turned down an abortion laws, because they know their numbers are dwindling. So they trying to give their numbers a chance to catch up with ours. Not gonna happen. Thanks to your feminism, now you got the women of your own nation wanting careers before they want families. And if they do want families, it's not with your punk ass. It's with Israelites, 9 times out of 10. So it came back and bit you in the ass again. Everything you do gonna bite you in your ass. Because why? Everything you do is not scripturally written for you to have success in. Verse 10, come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them out of the land. That's basically what they've been doing the whole time. They've been trying to, because see, that's a military strategy. That's a war tactic. If your enemy outnumbers you, you hit their supplies, you hit their supply chains, their lifelines, and you break them down slowly. But when you outnumber your enemy, you just run in, outrun, and outgun them all. But see, it's not going to happen here, not yet at least, because why the United States is the most heavily armed country on this planet. That's why you had that school shooting in Nashville, which is so stupid to me because you got this guy who identified as a trans woman, but at the same time dresses as a tomboy. What the hell? And then he had, whatever the hell it is, it had 2 AR-15s. Now, before this, AR-15s accounted for less than 1% of mass shootings. And what did Biden get on TV and say? We need to pass the bill to ban the guns. Yeah, this is all to make him justified in taking your guns. These are psyops anyway. All of them are psyops. Anything they force feed down your throat, and they got 24/7 news coverage on something that's irrelevant. Well, it's not irrelevant, but there are more important things going on on the planet right now, like this war and that deliberate sabotage of the water supplies. They don't talk about that. They want to keep you engulfed. They want your emotions wrapped around this school shooting, which was a psyop. I mean, it's got all the earmarks of a psyop all day. Number one, because they got 24/7 news coverage on it. It's a distraction. Let's see what else we got. Psalm chapter 73, verse 6. Therefore, pride compasseth them about as a chain, violence covered them as a garment. Well, I always said, everywhere they go, when they get in their feelings, somebody gonna die. And nobody going to jail. Verse 7, their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than their heart can wish. Everything ain't enough for Esau. That's why it says a covetous man is the most wickedest man on the planet, roughly paraphrasing the scripture. Everything ain't enough for Esau. And if you ain't got nothing, that ain't enough for him. He wants you to have less than nothing. And still that won't satisfy him. So what's one to do with this type of person? Exterminate him, because he cannot be pleased. He's just a ball of madness. Verse 8. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily. Verse 9. They set their mouth against the heavens and their tongue walking through the earth. That's that media. Everything the media says, people just hold it like it's a piece of gold. It's valid. No, these are lies. Same talking points, same lies, but yet y'all still believe these lies. Verse 12. Behold, these are the ungodly who prosper in the world, they increase in riches. That's why you got these banksters instigating wars, because they profit from war. They profit from death. They profit from destruction. So how are they righteous rulers of the earth? Micah chapter 2, verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. Why? Because the earth is given to the hand of the wicked, baby. Verse 2. And they cover fields and take them by violence. Going to these other countries, taking their resources, but lying to the world like they helping people. And the houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. We are living proof of that. The Israelites. They suppressed our heritage. Proverbs chapter 21, verse 7. The robbery of the wicked shall destroy them because they refuse to do judgment. These are not judges. Remember Job chapter 9, verse 24? They covered the faces of the judges. They took down the true faces of the Israelites and put themselves up as Israelites. They are not judges. These are the wicked. The judges are the Israelites. Psalms chapter 28, verse 3. Draw me not away with the wicked and with the workers of iniquity, which speak peace to their neighbors, but mischief is in their hearts. Who that sound like? Don't sound like no other nation but Edom. Daniel chapter 8, verse 25. And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. And he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand against the prince of princes, and he shall be broken without hand. The Lord will break his ass. And we can't wait. Woe be unto you, ungodly men, which have forsaken the law of the Most High Yahweh, for if ye increase, it shall be to your destruction. Psalm chapter 52, verse 3. Thou lovest evil more than good, and lying rather than to speak righteousness aloud. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up in him is not upright in him. Something wrong with that dude. He was born wicked. He was born to be the wicked. He was created to be the wicked. But the just shall live by his faith. Isaiah chapter 5, verse 21. Woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own sight. They're doing their own thing. And that goes for Israelites and Edomites. But that's cool though, because we need y'all to do this wickedness so the Lord can be justified in putting y'all back in chains. Like Napoleon said, never interrupt your enemy while he's making a mistake. So, bravo, Joe Biden. Bravo to all these saboteurs. in this country that's destroying the people. That bravo to the people who have declared war upon their own citizens. Bravo. So when the Lord come through, slam you on your back and put you in them chains, bravo, because he's justified. Why? Because you have committed all the crimes to make him justified in putting your punk ass back in slavery. Bravo, keep doing what you do, baby. You're doing a marvelous job. They're destroying your own kingdom. Sirach chapter 27, verse 27. He that worketh mischief, it shall fall upon him, and he shall not know whence it cometh. Verse 30. Malice and wrath, even these are abominations, and the sinful man shall have both. Mm-hmm. Now let's get Psalm chapter 149, verse 6. Let the high praises of Yahweh be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand. Verse 7. To execute vengeance upon the heathen, and the punishments upon the people. Verse 8. To bind their kings with chains, and their nobles with fetters of iron. Verse 9. To execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye the Lord. And there's more. Let's get my favorite two verses regarding vengeance on the nation of Edom. The book of Ezekiel. And we can close after this point's been made. This man is going into captivity. Keep up the wickedness, baby. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 25. Ooh, Moab, you in trouble too, baby. We can start at verse 11. Ezekiel chapter 25, verse 11. And I will execute judgments upon Moab. That's the Chinese and the Koreans. Taiwanese, they're from the nation of Moab. And they shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh. Verse 12. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, because that Edom have dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance, and have greatly offended and revenged himself upon them. Verse 13. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, I will also stretch out mine hand upon Edom, and will cut off man and beast from it, and I will make it desolate from Teman, and they of the Don shall fall by the sword. Teman and the Don, those were cities and towns inhabited by Edomites. You are a people before you are a place. So that's talking about Edomites. Verse 14. And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel. And they shall do in Edom according to mine anger and according to mine fury, and they shall know my vengeance, saith the Lord Yahweh. Esau, you didn't think this through, baby, at all. But you do what base men do. You base all your actions and words on emotion and not logic. That's why you're going to fail. Because you put your feelings, your perpetual hate, and your pride above common sense, logic, knowledge, and wisdom. You hate those. That's why you're going to fail. Call all you lie. Alahayi now with Yahweh. By Shem Yahweh Shah Hamashiach. Wa Malaki by Shem Hawa Wa Kanku Hashbarak the Thumb. The water by the ball of Palm Yahshua. Shalom.